from the station that's on your side. This is Channel 7 News at 6.
Good evening. We begin tonight with tragedy in Fordyce. A gunman opens fire in a grocery store parking lot, killing 3 people and wounding 10 others, including 2 police officers. Arkansas State Police fired back at the shooter, who is now in custody. The police officers and the shooter, we're told, have non-life-threatening injuries. Channel 7's Ryan Houston is anchoring our coverage in Fordyce today. He joins us now live. Ryan, what can you tell us?
Well, people here in Fordyce are calling this a senseless tragedy. And since we first talked to you, Beth, at 5 p.m., law enforcement have sort of cleared out, but as you can see, it is still a very active scene. I'm counting maybe at least 10 to 20 state troopers here, still collecting evidence, still trying to figure out exactly what happened. There's a lot we don't know, but let me tell you what we do know. State police say around 11:30, they first started getting 911 calls about a gunman here at the Mad Butcher grocery store. They say when they got here, the gunman opened fire on them, and that's when they returned fire. We know that, as you just mentioned, Beth, 2 officers were injured in the shooting. They have non-life-threatening injuries. We know that the gunman was also injured in the shooting and arrested. They tell us that they expect the gunman to recover. We also can tell you that 11 people who were just out here minding their business, just shopping in the middle of the day on a Friday, were caught in the crossfire, and they were wounded from the mass shooting. I can tell you that 3 of those people have since died. We also have learned that all of the other victims were taken to UAMS Hospital to be treated for their injuries, and their injuries range from critical all the way to non-life-threatening injuries. I can also tell you that the Arkansas State Police just wrapped up an earlier news conference, maybe about 2 hours ago. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
Good afternoon. My name is Mike Hager. I'm the Secretary of Department of Public Safety and the Director of the Arkansas State Police. We're going to give a brief statement of facts, not answer any questions at this time. First, this situation is secure and it's contained. There are no active threats to the community. At approximately 11:38, 911 calls were received that there was an active shooting situation at the Mad Butcher grocery store in Fordyce. Law enforcement responded immediately and exchanged gunfire with a lone suspect. Unfortunately, we can confirm that 11 innocent civilians were shot, and 3 of those are deceased. 2 law enforcement officers were injured in the exchange of gunfire. The suspect was also shot and taken into custody. The injuries to the officers and the suspect are not considered life-threatening. The remaining civilian injuries range from non-life-threatening to extremely critical. The investigation is in its early stages, and we have no information or no more information that we can release at this time. The Arkansas State Police will be the lead investigative agency, and all media inquiries should be routed through our communications department. We do anticipate a further news release later in the evening. I've been in constant contact with Governor Sanders. She's committed any resources needed to aid in this investigation or any support needed for the community of Fordyce and Dallas County. To reiterate the total numbers, we had 11 civilians shot. 3 of those are deceased, and we do have some that are critical. We have 2 law enforcement officers that were shot. Neither of their injuries are considered to be life-threatening, and we had 1 suspect that was shot. Is in custody. His injuries are also not life-threatening. Just on behalf of the state police, the law enforcement community, all public and first responders, it's tragic. Our hearts are broken. Our prayers, along with Governor Sanders, the entire state of Arkansas, will be with this community and with those affected victims. Thank you.
Well, you just heard it there. Our thoughts and prayers are definitely with all of the victims here today. I want to bring in Channel 7's Emma Allen. Now, Emma, thank you so much for your hard work today. You were out here earlier today, and you mentioned that you talked to witnesses who actually had to hide from the gunman.
Yes, I did, and actually we have sound from them in just a minute. But first, I just want to say community members have been talking about this all day long. They're upset. They're thankful that the gunman has been put in police's custody. But everywhere you look around here, you will see signs that say that businesses are closed in this area, and that say pray for Fordyce because of the tragic events that occurred earlier today. Now, I did talk to two teenagers that witnessed the shooting, and here's what they had to say.
He had rounds and he was just shooting, like he was shooting, and I locked the door and I got real low because my mama don't got no tent, so he was gonna see us. And I held my sister's hand and I told her I love her and I prayed for her, and I was just sitting there in fear because from where I was sitting, the only thing I could see was him if he came up to it. All I seen was the sky, and I just prayed, and I was real scared. Like, I would never think that would happen in Fordyce.
You know, and that's something that the community members reiterated, was that they never thought anything like this would happen in Fordyce. But one thing I do want to say is those two teenagers told me that they still, after all that happened, they pray for the gunman.
Wow. Emma, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing your report tonight on Channel 7 News at 10. So, again, we know that 11 people were shot, 3 people have died. As you can see, this is still a very active scene. We know that police, firefighters, and hospital staff, they train for mass casualty events throughout the year, mass shootings. And as you can see, they're putting that training to good use tonight. In Fordyce, Ryan Houston, on your side.
All right, Ryan, thanks so much. And thanks to Emma Allen as well for your coverage today in Fordyce. Ryan and Emma will be back with us a little bit later in the show. Meanwhile, reaction to this mass shooting pouring in today. It prompted immediate public responses from leaders across the state. 7 on your side's Lisa Hudson joins us with what they're saying tonight. Lisa.
Well, Beth, lawmakers and the governor are weighing in on the events in Fordyce. This is from Governor Sanders. She wrote, quote, "I have been briefed on the tragic shooting in Fordyce, and I'm in constant contact with state police at the scene. I'm thankful to law enforcement and first responders for their quick and heroic action to save lives. My prayers are with the victims and all those impacted by this horrific incident." And then if we look at Congressman Bruce Westerman's comment over the 4th District that includes Fordyce, he says, "I'm grateful for the quick response by law enforcement and first responders on the scene in Fordyce this afternoon. My office is in constant contact with local officials, and I will continue to monitor the situation as details emerge. My prayers are with the victims and their families and the entire Fordyce community." Of course, we also heard prayers and thoughts coming from both Senator Cotton and Senator Bozeman today as well. Now, according to the Gun Violence Archive, which is a database that keeps track of mass shootings across the country, this is the 6th mass shooting in Arkansas this year, at least the 50th in 10 years since 2014. They define a mass shooting as one where 4 or more people are injured or killed, not including the shooter. So far, more than 225 mass shootings have occurred in the United States this year, killing more than 300 people. On your side, I'm Lisa Hudson.
Lisa, thanks again. Be sure to stay with Channel 7. We'll have an update on this breaking news story coming up later, including 2 police officers after a gunman opened fire at a Fordyce grocery store. Channel 7's Ryan Houston and Emma Allen join us again from Fordyce with continuing coverage of the situation there. Hey, guys.
All right, Beth, we really don't have any new information to give you other than we are sending our thoughts and prayers to all of the victims affected in this shooting outside of the Mad Butcher grocery store that happened around 11:30 earlier today. I'm joined with Channel 7's Emma Allen. And Emma, I was listening to your interview earlier with the pastor who says that he knows some of the victims who died.
Yes, so that's one thing about Fordyce is everybody seems to know everybody. The pastor said that he knew some of the community members that had died and that had been shot, and here's what he had to say about the whole thing.
Some kids that was there was on the phone with me telling me what was going on. And they, I mean, right as he's shooting, I'm on the phone with them telling them to stay down. They actually shot that car of some of my church members. And so I called the sheriff, hadn't nobody called through yet. So he was on his way. I called our mayor and said, "Mayor, have you heard anything?" He hadn't heard about it, but it was happening as I was talking to him. And man, they got on the radio and did an all call. Before you know it, police cars was all around the place.
Now, community members say they just hope that the people that were involved in all of this, and even the family members of that lost loved ones today, will be able to get some counseling and therapy to help with a tragic event like this.
And Emma, he also mentioned that some of the victims had to run and get inside of a cooler for safety.
Yeah, so some of them actually had to hide out, and even in cars in the parking lot, they had to duck down so the shooter would not see them.
All right, Emma, thank you so much. We look forward to your story tonight on Channel 7 News at 10. We will continue to look for evidence and actually talk to witnesses and police. We'll bring you the latest on air and online. In Fordyce, Ryan Houston, on your side.
All right, Ryan, thanks so much. And our thanks to Emma Allen as well in Fordyce for us. If you missed any of today's coverage from Fordyce, including the Arkansas State Police press conference, you can find it over at KATV.com or on the KATV YouTube page. And of course, we'll have much more on this story from Fordyce tonight. We're outside the Mad Butcher grocery store on West 4th Street, right in the heart of town. Here's what we know. 3 people are dead. 8 other civilians are injured. Authorities also confirmed that 2 police officers and the suspect were injured in the shooting, but we were told in that press conference earlier today that none of those injuries are considered life-threatening.
And I felt like the active shooter didn't think about no kids. He didn't think about the people that was around and the genuine people who lost their lives just because they was going through something. I felt like if you was going through something, you should have talked to somebody. Like, you know, I work at Mill Creek. We could have talked to you. Somebody out here is to help you. We're willing to always help. So it's like for somebody to do this, it's really heartbreaking for the people who have to lose their lives. Just want to go into the store and get something, you know, probably for their families.
And if you missed any of today's coverage of the deadly mass shooting in Fordyce, you can find it on KATV.com or the KATV YouTube page. We'll have the very latest updates for you tonight on Channel 7 News at 10 o'clock. Well, that does it for us here on Channel 7 News at 6. Thanks for being with us tonight, and we hope to see you back here at 10 o'clock. Have a great weekend.
From the station that's on your side, this is Channel 7 News at 10.
Well, you are looking at what the National Weather Service describes as a catastrophic tornado that tore through the heart of West Little Rock this afternoon. This is one of countless cell phone videos that captured the twister as it cut a path of destruction through residential and commercial areas. Little Rock, North Little Rock, Jacksonville, all hard hit. And then the storms continued east, devastating the city of Wynne. We're still assessing the damage tonight, but we know it is significant and widespread, and that at least 3 lives have been lost, 1 in North Little Rock and 2 more there in the hard-hit city of Wynne. Well, good evening to you on what has been a very difficult day here in Arkansas. Our Chief Meteorologist Barry Brandt and our entire weather team spending hours on the air today, keeping us informed. And Barry, we're used to tornadoes here in Arkansas.
Sure.
We're not used to them hitting the major population centers like this one.
No, and that's what is so devastating about this. And I know a lot of spots have been hit, and Mayflower and Bologna, you know, and Arkadelphia in the past, but it went through a very heavily populated area. Thankfully, things are calming down right now. I'll show you what's left of our tornado watch. It's just a few counties in southeast Arkansas, and there was one storm in far southeast Arkansas, southern Arkansas County there, that is still rather strong, but that's really it. And it is just about to move across that northern tip of Desha County. It'll move over the Mississippi River. I'm watching it, though, and there's another one down south of Dumas that doesn't look nearly as strong as that one. That should be the last one that we have to talk about. And then we'll see all of this exit out of here. It'll be windy back behind it. We should have sunshine tomorrow. I know a lot of cleanup efforts will be going on, and it'll be a fantastic day for that. The weather will not interfere. We'll start in the low 50s and we'll go into the low 70s during the day. Right now we have a southwest wind at 11. It's still 71, but it will start to cool down. That's our Middleton weather cam. And if you look off in the distance, you see some areas that are dark, like up in the Heights and on out in West Little Rock. There is no power in a number of spots out there. 52 degrees, our overnight low tonight, and a high tomorrow up to 73 again, mostly sunny, but it will continue to be breezy and it will be mild. Well, as we started to get into the time when the storm was coming into Little Rock, it didn't look very bad, and then it quickly ramped up. This is our coverage as it came into West Little Rock, featuring Brett Adair, our Live Storms media content partner. Ground.
There's 10 Fitness. Do we have Brett on the phone? It's so hard to tell from these pictures.
Todd, can you hear me?
Brett, we see the lowering. Is that a tornado right above the 10 and 10 Fitness?
I cannot confirm that that's a tornado there, but I can tell you right behind that sign, that whole larger area above it is rotating rapidly.
Yeah.
Very, very quick rotation. Matter of fact, it's coming up. You got a funnel developing over the 10 now.
That's it. This is right over the left 10.
Yeah,
right here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move. It's gonna come right over top of us. It's gonna come right over top of us. We're gonna have to move.
Okay, Brett, stay with us. Again, this is coming into West Little Rock.
We may have a tornado now on the mountain there. See it?
Yeah, that's a hill out there in West Little Rock. That's probably out there, Barry.
Okay, folks.
I want to tell my wife, take cover now.
Yes, please take cover.
And Barry's family too.
All right, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Hillsboro, Marlowe Manor. Those locations, Barry. Can you think of any other place?
Yeah, it's that area.
It's coming right here. Go, 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 go. Get the left.
Yeah, that's a classic supercell storm.
Let's stay with
folks.
Brett, and I'm going to name out some of those towns. Let's stay here with that.
There it is, big tornado. All right, stop. Get right there. Get right there in the parking lot.
That's it right there.
Tornado.
Okay, that's coming right into West Little Rock, down to the south of Rodney Parham.
Right there. Hold up. Right here. Here we go.
Moving into West Little Rock on the southwest, just south of Rodney Parham, folks. This is coming up. I'm trying to think of some of the locations. Markham, West Markham, Bowman.
Yeah, in that area, right.
Asbury, Canis, Woodland.
Big time debris.
You got debris?
All right, we need to.
Yeah, I see the rapid movement.
To the left? Yeah.
We have a significant tornado on the ground in Little Rock.
It's going to be crossing I-430, probably close to where Chenal Parkway dumps out onto I-630.
All right, big. All right, where do we go?
Okay. Guys, you may want to go.
All right, we got to move.
All right, stay on. Brett, you're live on the air. Let's just, you're live on the air. Just tell us what you see. There's the tornado. It's on the ground in Little Rock. I think, are they issuing a tornado emergency yet? Have they issued one?
Go.
They haven't yet.
Big tornado. All right, it's passing behind us. Hold up.
He says, let's stay with that. Barry,
Okay.
do you know where,
it is starting to ramp up, and folks, it's right along that. It's right along.
It's gonna hit the radio.
Chenal Parkway and 630 West Markham.
Go.
Okay, we don't have his feed. We've lost the feed.
Slowly.
Keep his audio, guys. Go to radar with Barry. Keep his audio.
Go. There's huge debris in the air. Huge debris.
I'm going to look and see if we don't have his picture. It's frozen. It's up. He's got his picture up now. He's
Can
on
we take it
430.
again?
Yeah. Okay, so he's going back on 430. He says he sees a lot of debris. It's going to be crossing over 430. You said where it dumps out with 630 at the Big Rock?
Yeah, I think that's. And it might be in between there and Rodney Parham.
It's right over the hill, buddy.
Okay, your feed is out.
Go. Go to the left.
Baptist.
Go.
Baptist Hospital's in the path.
There. Go. There you go.
Do we have a camera at the Big Rock that we can look at, guys? The Big Rock camera?
Wow. So that was the scene about 2:30, a little before 2:30 today. Brett Adair is an experienced storm chaser, but you could really hear the concern in his voice.
Absolutely. And he saw that coming up toward that intersection, Rodney Parham and 430 right there. And he said, we've got to get out of here. They got on 430 and they got down the interstate knowing that it was going to come right through that area. And that's exactly where it came through. That was coming over that hill around Cali Forest Apartments there.
Well, and from there, it moved forward. Let's take a look at some Sky 7 video. This is of the Renew Apartments, which are just east of Pavilion in the Park along Cantrell Road in Little Rock, right across the street from the Purple Cow, a very popular restaurant in town that was also hit hard today. Barry, you can just see some significant damage done there.
Yeah, and Pavilion in the Park was hit fairly hard too. A lot of the glass panels up in the top were hit. Across the street there, Pulaski Title, Purple Cow. So it did move up right through that area and then proceeded on up into Kingwood, Kamak Village, those areas. And then it went not very far from here, just up Rebsamen Park Road from where we are. And it was maybe a half mile or 3/4 of a mile from Riverdale as it went over.
The lingering issues tonight, the power outages are about 75,000 statewide, about 45,000 of those here in Pulaski County. Barry, thanks. We'll see you in just a little bit with more weather. Of course, this evening, Governor Sanders and Little Rock Mayor Frank Scott Jr. held a joint news conference to bring us up to date on the response to the storms. They brought along leaders of Little Rock Police and Little Rock Fire, and both made clear that they had their hands full tonight. Here's some of what they had to say.
As each of you know, today has been a very hard day for the state of Arkansas. But the goodness of this is that Arkansas and Arkansans are tough and we are resilient. And no matter what comes our way, we will get back up the next day and keep moving. We will help our neighbors. We will ensure that every Arkansan who needs assistance has it.
We've responded to overturned vehicles, heavy damage to residential and businesses in that community, along with downed trees, down power lines, ruptured gas lines. They faced a lot of various mitigating emergencies there.
Well, Mayor Scott tonight says there are still no reports of any fatalities in the capital city. His police department is promising to aggressively patrol Little Rock tonight to make sure no looting occurs. Of course, all of this happened right in the middle of the workday, so many Arkansans got off work to find they had no home to return to, and that's why several emergency shelters have been opened in the wake of today's storms. The American Red Cross has set up shop. They are operating a shelter at Calvary Baptist Church. They say it is open to anyone who's been affected by today's storms. If you do plan to head there, just bring essential items, your clothes, your bedding, maybe some toiletries as well. Again, that's Calvary Baptist Church at 5700 Cantrell Road. Another shelter set up by the city of Little Rock. This one is at Hall High School. Anyone who needs a ride there, they can grab a shuttle from the parking lot of Emmanuel Baptist Church out there in West Little Rock on North Shackelford Road. So Hall High is open tonight. And in the city of North Little Rock, an emergency shelter has been opened at the North Little Rock Community Center. That's at 2700 Willow Street. It too is for anyone affected by today's storms. That shelter location is open to both people and their pets. Well, our coverage of today's tornado outbreak is just getting started. As we go to break, here is another look at the ferocious power of Mother Nature, shared with us by KATV viewer Jim Kimbrough.